Good evening and welcome to the December 3rd, 2014 Town Board meeting. I'll officially call the meeting to order. Tonight we have a number of scouts with us, and Troop 230 is going to lead us in the pledge tonight. And so I'd ask everyone in the audience to please rise. And then, gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to lead us in the pledge whenever you are ready. And as they're assembling, I'll say that Troop 230 tonight are working on our merit badge, one of the badges required for Eagle, citizenship in the community. So, gentlemen, thank you for being here, and whenever you're ready.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. And during the course of the meeting tonight or after the meeting tonight, if you need any information, any of the board members can assist you with any questions or any other items that you may need. Thank you. I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Cole.
Here.
LaFountain.
Here.
Metzler.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Quinn.
Here.
I would like to turn the mic over to Councilwoman Paula Metzler to speak about another scout troop here in Penfield.
I have a little bit of a bias towards Troop 312, sorry, Troop 230, but I have three nephews in Troop 312, including one who's with us tonight. Mitchell, why don't you come up? Last year, we were honored to have Troop 312 present the town with a couple of wreaths to display prominently in our town buildings, and they offered to do so again this year. So Mitchell has come tonight to present these wreaths to the town, and I indicated to him earlier that just like last year, we'll find a good home to display both of them. And 312 is also involved not only with wreaths, but I think Christmas trees as well right now. Do you want to give a plug for your Christmas tree sale?
Sure. So I'm Mitchell Krenzer. I'm from Troop 312 in Penfield, and currently we are holding our annual Christmas tree sale down in Panorama at Bill Gray's. It's something that we've been doing for years and years. A great way to support our troop, and we have hundreds. We literally get hundreds of trees every year, so come down and take your pick. We have a lot of great trees. And also, over the years, we've had now 101 Eagle Scouts in our troop, and I don't think I've ever seen an Eagle ceremony where we haven't received some sort of message or support from the town board. So to show our appreciation for the town board support, for our continuation of our Eagle Scouts and our organization, we'd like to present to you these wreaths.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yes, and I actually purchased two of these wreaths myself. You helped me purchase them, helped me put them out. They also have trees and mittens and
Yes.
scarves as well for sale down in Bill Gray's.
Excellent.
Free plug. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're
Great.
welcome.
Mitchell, thank you very much. This is going to be an annual event.
Yep.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And thank you to all of our scouts within Penfield. They do a lot of great things. Not only the various Eagle projects, but a number of these young men do a lot of different events within the community that benefit the community in so many ways. So special recognition to everyone here present and all those that are not present for everything that you do. Keep up the good work, and I would stress work towards that Eagle. It will make a big difference in everything that you do. Looks good on a resume, and it really helps, in the future as you're looking for colleges, as you're looking for jobs and job opportunities. It really does make a difference. So take that time. Sometimes a little difficult to do. Moms and dads push and pull, scout leaders push and pull, but certainly worth the time and effort to do that. So I'd encourage you all to do that. Thank you. Okay, this evening, we're going to start off, we have a public hearing. I'm going to ask our clerk to please read that public hearing notice.
To adopt local law number 1 of 2014 to be known as a local law to amend and supplement the Town of Penfield zoning ordinance by establishing a severability clause, confirming and clarifying that any uses not expressly permitted are prohibited, articulating certain explicitly prohibited uses, adding certain definitions, changing certain existing definitions, and modifying, clarifying, and adding to the provisions regarding variances. This is a ban on hydrofracking. The legal notice was published in the Penfield Post on November 13, 2014, and posted on the town website and the town clerk bulletin board. No postcards were mailed due to this being a town-wide action.
Great, thank you very much. And I'll ask Mr. Horowitz, is this properly before the board?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm going to take just a moment, and then I'm going to turn the mic over to our town attorney, Mr. Horowitz, who I'm sure will be able to give a better description of what we're doing here this evening. But essentially, now about 2 years ago, a little bit more than 2 years ago, this board was approached with looking at hydrofracking and possibly putting a ban on hydrofracking. A number of other communities within Monroe County had done so, and so this board, we had a number of residents and non-residents of Penfield that came to speak and address this particular item, and continued to supply the board with a lot of information and material. And one of the things that this board wanted to do was to make sure that as we looked at hydrofracking and what was the right thing for Penfield, we wanted to make sure that we did our proper due diligence so that we looked at all aspects of the benefits of and the negative impacts to hydrofracking. And we wanted to make sure that we were not just making a decision because everybody else was doing it. We wanted to do it for the right reasons. And so we had a moratorium put in place, and what that means, gentlemen, a moratorium, was that gave us an opportunity to take a look at this in a little bit more detail and not have to worry about hydrofracking taking place until such time as this board took a look at all the benefits or the negatives associated with that. We did elect to, because we were partway through our research, we did elect to have a second moratorium and to add another year on that to give us the opportunity to work with our town attorney, our town staff, and our consultant on this particular item overall. And as a result of a lot of work, especially with our consultant, our town attorney, and Jim Costello from our staff, the board is at a point of holding a public hearing this evening on the possibility of banning hydrofracking within the town of Penfield. So that's by way of a little bit of history. I'm going to ask our town attorney if he'll take just a moment and talk a little bit about the process and why we're here this evening.
Thank you, Mr. LaFountain. We are here tonight to hold a public hearing on the question of whether this board should adopt a ban on hydrofracking. Our local zoning ordinance was enacted back in 1981, and the process of hydrofracking was not known at that time. Hydrofracking under our current ordinance is not a permitted use, and we felt, though, even though it wasn't a permitted use, we ought to study the situation regarding hydrofracking and the negative impacts or positive impacts it could have on the community. In adopting the two moratoriums, the town board made certain findings that potentially hydrofracking could lead to increased noise. It could endanger water supplies. It could cause damage to roads with heavy truck traffic. It could cause some substantial, significant loss of farmland, open space, so on and so forth. So that's why the board, in keeping with the desire to continue Penfield as a residential community and one in which is sort of a bedroom community to the city of Rochester, and the quality of life was an important issue for this board. And in considering this law, which is a ban on hydrofracking, it tightens up the ordinance and makes it crystal clear that certain uses relating to the extraction of oil and gas or exploration or production waste are going to be completely unlawful under the zoning ordinance, and they are going to be called explicitly prohibited uses. And some of the uses and activities that are outlined in this law are natural gas and petroleum exploration activities, natural gas and petroleum extraction activities, natural gas and petroleum extraction, exploration, production, or storage facilities, compression facilities, processing facilities, injection facilities, underground gas storage. All of these things, all of these uses, all of these buildings, all these uses of lands, if this legislation were adopted, would be clearly prohibited and unlawful. That is the primary thrust of this law, and I think that's the conclusion of my remarks.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Horwitz. At this time, and the purpose of the public hearing is to hear anyone that has an interest to speak for or against this particular legislation. And so I'll ask our clerk, has anyone signed up to speak on behalf of this for this public hearing?
I don't have any.
Okay. Seeing that we didn't have anyone sign up, we do have an opportunity for, and that's okay, Dr. Corn, you can come right up if you're ready. It's not mandatory. Okay. So why don't you're up, ma'am, you're up. Why don't you stay right up here, and Dr.
Okay.
Corn is bowing his time to you for first opportunity. So welcome.
Thank you very much, board members, scouts, citizens, and neighbors. I'm Priscilla Peterson. I thought I would be the last one to speak, not the first. I live in the village of Fairport in the town of Perrinton, and I am a co-founding member of the Citizens Alliance for a Pristine Perrinton. And we met with our town board a couple of years ago with the same purpose that you are meeting tonight, to ask them to change the laws to prohibit fracking and all related activities in the town of Perrinton. They did agree. I'm here to congratulate you for the progress that you've made on this very important issue, to thank you for what you have done on behalf of all of our neighbors in Monroe County and beyond. And we have more work to do in the state of New York, because there are many other issues that have not been settled here. But you are doing the right thing. We thank you for that, and keep up the good work.
Right. Thank you, Priscilla. Have a great holiday season. Okay, our second speaker, I'm going to take a guess that it might be Dr. Corn.
Good evening. I really hadn't thought that I'd be speaking tonight, but since it's a public hearing and you've worked so hard for so long to craft what I suspect is a role model example of the legislation that's going to be needed if it continues to be needed piecemeal, town by town, county by county, until there's an overwhelming wave of support for the banning of hydrofracking in our beautiful state. And I know that Mr. Horwitz is a very, very competent and careful and thorough attorney, and I'm sure that that you have, Mr. Horwitz,
Thank you.
drafted a role model ban on fracking, hydrofracking. And I hope the board will be willing to share the results of their labors with other towns that are trying to do the same and are looking down this path. I'm certainly not going to stand here and reiterate all the things that we've talked about before. The one thing that seems to get short shrift, and I not being an attorney, I only read about it and shared it with you, and that was a piece that was rather frightening about the ability of mortgages to be called if there were hazardous waste, hazardous practices, hazardous storage, hazardous material storage on one's property, that most mortgages in fine print prohibit that. And that certainly is a major threat to a community like ours, or to any community, really. It's a very high price and risk to pay for what might come potentially in some short-term income. At any rate, not to belabor, I just want to say a heartfelt thank you for myself, for my wife, who may want to speak for herself, and for all the people that have been supporting this activity here and elsewhere. This has been a major group project. We don't do very much by ourselves. We may get something started, but it takes our allies to make the difference. And each of you has become an ally in this rational approach to protecting the welfare of the town. And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
If I could just interject, Mr. Supervisor, for the scouts who are here and for those who are watching, this proposed local law we keep referencing is right on our website. I looked at it earlier today. You can link to it from the agenda for tonight. If you want to take a look at the actual law, or scouts, if you want to see what a local law looks like, and you certainly can contact any one of us or the supervisor's office if you have any questions about that as to what makes up a local law. But just so you have some point of reference, and anyone listening who may want to call in with any kind of comments, that is right on our website, has been there for people to review in the event they wanted to come and speak. So,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you. Phyllis Korn.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phyllis.
Good evening. I too want to thank you, every one of you who has had or is going to have a part in supporting this ban. I only wanted to mention one thing that Marty has not. Well, many things have been mentioned, but you spoke about the quality of this community, the residential quality of this community, which I think is dear to the hearts of all of us. But one item that is part of that and wasn't mentioned, but is one I feel very strongly about, is the contribution you will make to the health of the citizens and the residents of the town of Penfield. So I hope when you do make your votes, do vote, that you will keep the issue of health of the residents of this town very firmly in your mind. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that did not sign up, however, they would like to address the board on this particular matter? Okay. I would just ask the board, I know that everyone has had an opportunity to review this and follow this step by step through the process. Any additional questions or comments, either for Mr. Horowitz, probably primarily, or myself,
Mr.
as it relates?
Supervisor, I do have one question for the attorney, town attorney, if I may. I know that there's been considerable discussion at the state level regarding this issue, whether or not to impose a statewide ban. And I'm sure as we head into the 2015 legislative session, there will continue to be that ongoing discussion amongst our state legislators. If if the state should move in a direction to either allow hydrofracking or a ban, but if they were to move in the direction to allow hydrofracking in the state of New York, what foundation or what effect would our current or our proposed town law have if state law were in effect?
Well, the issue of the legitimacy and legality of community bans has been litigated in the courts in the state of New York, and actually have reached the highest court, the Court of Appeals. And the Court of Appeals has sustained the ability of municipalities and townships like Penfield to enact bans, essentially saying that the communities do have the power under home rule to exclude this kind of a use. And that's the state of the law at this point. So if the state should allow hydrofracking to be considered in the state, we would be excluded, in my legal opinion.
Okay, very good, thank you.
All right, thank you. Seeing no other comments from the board, no other comments from the audience, I'll declare this public hearing closed. Next steps is that the next time we'll have an opportunity to speak about this particular item, this legislation, will be next Wednesday. That will be the 10th of December at our work session right here at the back of the room. And, based on what we have seen and heard thus far, I think it's safe to say that the board would be prepared to adopt a resolution on December 17th at our next legislative session and last legislative session of 2014. So that's what I would see as our next steps. And certainly anyone is welcome to attend that meeting. However, that is a time that we go through our resolutions, and if it's bad weather, stay inside and tune in to Channel 12, and you can watch that. But certainly, if you have an interest in being here as part of that adoption of that resolution, we'd love to see you, love to have you. So with that, it'll be next Wednesday, the 10th. The board will discuss the opportunity of preparing a resolution for adoption. Thank you. We will, for our work sessions, we start at 7 p.m. in the back of the room, so that'll be the 10th of December at 7 p.m. And then our next legislative session will be December 17th at 7:30. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll move on with our agenda. Thank you for those that came to comment this evening on this subject. Move into our communications and our announcements. We have two opportunities for communications and announcements at this point, and then again at the end of the meeting. You can do that three different ways. If you're in the audience, you can address the board on any matter. If you're at home, you can call in at 340-8771, or you can log on at penfield.org and send a message in. And I've got this handy printer sitting right here next to me that I can gather that information and read it into the record. So with that, our first part of communications and announcements tonight are members of our Penfield Community Victory Garden. And this has gotten to be an annual item where they come in and they give us the state of the garden. And I see Dot and I see Gordy and others here to give us a little bit of a rundown. So welcome. I think we had a banner year.
We did.
Provided the critters didn't get to all of the fruits and vegetables.
Yes. Well, good evening, Mr. Supervisor, board members, and community members. Again, we're thanking you and other members in the town for giving us the opportunity to report the Penfield Community Victory Garden for 2014 season. It's been another great year. We had 89 gardens in the property. We had 89 gardens rented out. Everybody spoke highly of the quality of the garden, and it's going to keep improving through the years. And let's see. Perhaps you saw an article from our Star frontpage.brennis. We had a very good turnout with that particular workday, and we're hoping with the continuation and promotion of our garden will help attract new members of community each year. The use of our funds have been, this 2013, we purchased a new rider mower. Today, Dave Boyer and myself picked up a new tiller. The one we had was even hard for the committee to operate. We had the motor that was put on it was just too much for it. So we've had enough monies to get that, so we're all set for the spring.
Great.
Any questions?
No, I mean, I've heard nothing but very positive comments. I know that, a number of the various fruits and vegetables that you did grow went to support the Penfield food shelf, as I understand it. And that was a very positive thing. That whole operation continues to grow and expand, and certainly through the help of work like yourselves and the generosity of this community to help some of those family members in Penfield that are a little less fortunate. So that was a bumper crop, as they say.
Yeah. We've used less water this year also because of the installation of the scouts last year with our center path
Right.
irrigation.
Yes.
So
Made a difference, all the little things. And another example of, and I think that was an Eagle Scout project that put that in. So I'm aware of at least 2 Eagle Scout projects at that community garden. One to do the kiosk, and then and that initial walkway as you come in, kind of the front doors, and then the water project. So another example of a couple of great projects to help the community.
and we're still looking.
And we're still looking. So
More Eagle Scouts.
there you go. So keep that in mind,
Audience
gentlemen.
right
Keep
here.
that in mind.
Dot, this is probably more for you. Can you talk a little bit about some of the children's programs? And what you
Yeah, I'm going to
plan-
talk about our community interface. I'm Dot Brennis. Our community members at the garden have had a lot of opportunities this year to work on activities within the garden community and then outside of the garden community. We have four work days a year where garden members come and they work on the common areas of the garden to keep it looking spiffy for the community in general. We participated in the Penfield Independence Day Parade with our float that was sponsored by Bricola Garden Center. And Lori and her husband over there are just great, giving us some, really nice looking tomato plants. And we had some seeds that we passed out to people instead of all of the candy, although we did have some candy. We donated about 5 to 10 pounds per week of fresh produce to the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf. I would go over there weekly, or Chris would go over there weekly and drop that off. We collected it at the garden. We had 2 garden beds that were donated to families at the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf so they could grow their own food. That teach a man to fish kind of idea. And we also had a bed that was donated to a Girl Scout troop so they could grow food for the needy. I ran through the Penfield Recreation Department the Children's Garden Program that starts in the spring. There are 3 classes in the spring, 6 in the summer, and I actually added 1 more for the fall, so I did 4 in the fall this year. And I had about 15 children participating in that. And that was pretty amazing this year because we actually picked 84 cucumbers this year at the Children's Garden. We donated some of it, and then some of it the children take home, and I always get children who say to me, I never ate a cucumber before, but it was really good because they got to grow it themselves, and they just really love that. That's great for promoting our wellness feature that the Recreation Department and the town focuses on. And then we had about 30 freshmen from Nazareth College that came and mulched our trail. This is the 3rd time that we've had the freshman orientation service project at our garden, which has been a really great program that Sabrina over at Penfield Recreation has helped us interface with them and arrange those dates. So that's what we've done with our community this year, if you have any questions about the community aspect of it. Otherwise, I'll turn it over to Chris to do
Great.
the last part.
Excellent. And before you go, on your way out tonight, there's a table, and it's got a stack of papers. And I would encourage you to take a few of those so that you can share them with friends and family members. That was a great picture, and you should be very proud of the work that you folks did this year.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Mandel. I'll talk about communications and then the final thank yous. This year, for the first time, we hosted 4 introduction to garden seminars for all the members of the garden community, and to pass along information about rules of the garden, rules about composting, to try to make sure everyone had the same information. We continue to publish the Sprout newsletter every month, and one of our members, Eileen Gottschalk, is the publisher for that, I guess you'd call her. We have a garden website, PenfieldVictoryGarden.org, and that has attracted attention to our town. And we've even had an inquiry from someone who was looking to relocate from Washington, D.C., who wondered what kind of things were involved in Penfield, what they could get involved with themselves, and they saw that there was a community garden, and that was a big interest to them. So I feel that that website will help draw good, favorable information to draw people into our town. We have forums on the website for gardeners to present problems or successes, to share information and ideas. And every year we have 2 garden dinners in the spring and the fall to introduce the committee members to new gardeners. It's a potluck. We bring all kinds of good food and information. And in the fall, it's a big wrap-up, and those are very successful dinners. So we'd like to thank the town for all their continued support for our activities, especially the DPW for the deliveries of mulch and arranging the mowing contractor who cared for the outside garden, the outside areas of the fencing in the garden. This was a great help to us. We didn't have to spend so much time ourselves mowing. We're also very grateful for the installation of the pipe under the sidewalk that completed the system. Now we don't have to drag the hoses back and forth, and it really does make it easier for the gardeners to have a successful garden. We want to thank PenRac for their continued support, handling registrations and many aspects of our community interfacing. And then also thank you to the community businesses that have helped our projects, Bracolo Garden Center, Bauman Farms, True Value Beyond Hardware, Harris Gardens, Cornerstone Kitchens, the Rothfuss family, and also Woody Acres. So any questions about that?
So what's new and exciting and big plan for 2015? I mean, that's always each year you folks continue to set the bar a little bit higher. So what does 2015 hold?
Well, we're looking at, we have a 5-year capital improvement plan, and one of the things that we've put in there is the possibility of creating raised beds so that we don't have gardens expanding and contracting so much. There are some other local community gardens that have a raised bed system, and that system we've been investigating, and it looks like something we'd like to move towards. We'd also love if we could get an Eagle Scout on to help us build a shelter at the garden. It would be a really great addition there if we had something similar to what you have up at Rothfuss Park, just a covering.
Right.
Just for the days when I have the children's garden program, we have those sudden downpours. We go out rain or shine unless there's thunder and lightning. We run the program because you garden in the rain. In fact, it's the best time to pull weeds. So it would be nice to have a shelter like that. And it would also help us to be able to offer more to our senior community. We did have a tea out there one year, but logistically it was very difficult. So if we had something like that, we'd be able to have more programs like that where we could bring people to come and be there and participate and maybe tour it. So those are things we have that are ideas to get started on in 2015. And I did forget to mention before that on Friday we'll be at the Penfield Recreation Family Holiday Party, raffling off a prize stocking for children or a Christmas wreath for grown-ups. It's like a package deal. We did it for Halloween. We did a pumpkin and a mum that Bauman had donated to us, and it was really a great time. We had so much fun at the Halloween party. So we'll
Excellent.
be at the holiday party on Friday.
This Friday, the 5th.
Yep, this Friday the 5th,
So,
6
very
o'clock.
good.
There's
And-
pizza before at 5:30. I hear.
That's right. How about parking? I think I've asked this the last couple of years. How is parking working out based on numbers and activity and things like that?
Parking has been great.
I think since the expansion of the parking lot, it's been a lot better. I mean, when we have our work days, we do have more people parking, but those only happen 4 times a year. But on a regular basis, we have enough spaces. I think there's still, you know, some issues with just puddling in the spring there. But otherwise, I would say it's a really good amount of parking spaces for us, for our use.
Okay. I know our town engineer, Jeff Benway, is looking at a drainage project across the street that he's looking to do sometime possibly this winter or spring, depending upon what the design shows and easements that are obtained and things like that. And I know that he believes that as part of that, that could help correct some of that ponding or puddling that takes place in the spring. So we'll keep that on the radar screen as well.
Great.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
on the agenda of our Watershed Management Committee that I sit on as well. And the garden specifically has been brought up on more than one occasion by Jeff to make sure that that's, you know, still part of the priority in terms of drainage issues in that area.
Thank you.
And one other, finally, if people want to sign up for a 2015 bed, how can they do that and when?
Well, the sign-up begins right after the first business day of 2015, which I think it might be the 2nd, but I could be wrong.
I think it is the 2nd,
Is it?
yes.
Okay. And you have to go down to the Penfield Recreation office at 1985 Baird Road, and you sign up for a bed in person there. It's $35 if you want a single bed, and $55 if you would like 2. And you can choose any bed that's open as of January 2nd for the season.
But they do fill up fast.
They do fill up fast, yes.
So if you do have an interest, don't come knocking on the door in March because
Yeah,
you
we
could be
usually
in-
don't have very much left by
Right.
March. That's one of the things that we find if you're thinking about getting a garden bed, you're going to want to get one before it's actually time to garden.
be a good, it might be a good present for this holiday season that you could give a gift.
Yeah, they have gift
And they have
certificates at
gift
the Recreation
certificates for that.
Department.
So
Yeah.
I always want to plug our Recreation Department for that. So, okay.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks for the time. Have a wonderful holiday season.
You too.
Thanks.
We have our elections in January, so
For our new chairpersons or vice chairs, so we'll keep you posted on how we'll be leading the garden coming into the 2015 season.
I expect that the 3 faces that we see this evening will still have some significant part of the whole program. So maybe not the current roles, but shuffle the deck a little bit, right? So
we'll all be there.
I know you will all be there.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the time.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. Okay, we'll continue on with our communications and announcements, and I will look towards our clerk. Anything this evening?
Nothing tonight, sir.
All right, thank you. I'll move on to Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. The American Red Cross will hold a holiday blood drive on Wednesday, December 24th at the Penfield Community Center, 1985 Baird Road, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. To schedule a donation appointment, please call 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit redcross.org. And second, with the winter and holiday seasons upon us, here are some good safety tips to follow. Please blow out candles when you leave the room or go to bed. Turn off all lights, strings, and decorations before leaving home or going to bed. Never use lit candles to decorate Christmas trees. Make sure Christmas trees are at least 3 feet away from any heat source. Also, just a reminder to everyone that during this time of year, vehicle break-ins are at their highest level. Some tips you can take to protect yourself would be making sure your vehicle is always locked. Do not leave gifts or valuables in your car overnight. And be aware of your surroundings. Park in a lit area or have your cell phone in hand. For more safety tips, please visit the National Fire Protection Association website at nfpa.org. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Messler.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I have just one announcement this evening. Penfield Recreation's Young, Open, and Honest Players will perform Christmas Carol High School by Mark Landon Smith on Friday, December 12th at the Penfield Community Center, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Christmas Carol High School is a humorous retelling of the classic Dickens tale, A Christmas Carol. It is a fun, fast comedy that shows us all what the true meaning of Christmas is all about. This is a great way to celebrate the holiday season with your family. Tickets are only $5 and are available at the Penfield Recreation Department and at the door. For more information or to order tickets in advance, please call 340-8655, option 6. Again, that's Friday, December 12th, Christmas Carol High School by our Young, Open, and Honest Players. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you. A couple of announcements of closures. All town offices will be closed Thursday, Christmas Day, the 25th, and Friday, the 26th. Will also be closed on January 1st, which is a Thursday. So that's 3 days. All town offices will be closed. Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The Penfield Trails Committee will sponsor a free guided hike at the Nature Conservancy Thousand Acre Swamp on Saturday, December 13th at 10 a.m. to noon. The hike will emphasize winter nature lore. Participants are asked to meet at the back of the Penfield Volunteer Ambulance Base on Jackson Road. While the hike is free, please, if you plan on attending, please call Penfield Recreation at 340-8655, extension 6, so they know you will be attending. Also, this holiday season, Penfield's Recreation Department has again made direct contact with Santa's workshop to help children in Penfield send their holiday letters to Santa Claus. Kids can expect to receive a personal reply from Santa before Christmas if their letters are postmarked before Monday, December 8th. Letters should be addressed to Santa Claus, care of Penfield Recreation, 1985 Baird Road, Penfield, New York, 14526. Be sure to include your return address for your reply. If you have any questions, please call the Recreation Office at 340-8655. Thank you.
I have 2 items tonight. Thank you. Shepherd Home has their 4th annual Wings of Light luminary display. It'll be held on Monday, December 15th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at 1959 5 Mile Line Road. The luminaries will be all lit at once to create a glowing nighttime display during the holy season. As they are lit, the glow becomes brighter and more beautiful, just as the community support enhances our abilities to care for the terminally ill. We invite each of you to gather to celebrate and honor the angels in our lives, living and deceased, and to raise needed funds for the Shepherd Home Ministry to the dying. You may call Shepherd Home at 381-0890 for more information, or visit shepherdhome.org. And my other announcement is Penfield Recreation is holding their annual holiday celebration at the Community Center on Friday, December 5th, beginning at 6 p.m. Come and enjoy the free, fun-filled holiday activities through the Community Center, including crafts and games, a Christmas play, and of course Santa Claus. At 5:30, for just a small fee per person, you can bring your family for a tasty pancake dinner. For more details on this event, visit penfieldrec.org.
All right, thank you. Mr. Horowitz?
Nothing further tonight.
All right, very good, thank you. I have one last announcement, and it's a certificate that was presented to the town of Penfield, and actually Jim Costello, who is our development director, development services director for the town. This certificate of merit was presented to the town of Penfield for dedication to the ongoing partnership building local businesses' success with the Penfield Business Association for 2014. And again, we're very proud of the fact that we work so close with our business association. Healthy business makes for a healthy community, and this is always the time of year that I always like to plug our local businesses. Do as much of your shopping locally you possibly can, because that pays dividend back to the community as they push monies back for scout projects, school projects, and other different activities within the community. So thank you to the PBA for this recognition, and we'll display this prominently within the town hall. We'll move on to the next item of the agenda, which is additions and deletions to the agenda. I see none. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes. We have the minutes, excuse me, of November 5th, 2014, and would entertain a motion of approval for those minutes.
Thank you. I'd like to move that November 5th minutes be approved.
Okay.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
5 ayes.
Petitions. Has the board, town clerk, town attorney received any petitions since our last get-together? Okay, seeing none. Move on to resolution by function, law and finance.
Authorization for supervisor to sign a contract for auditing services 2014 through 2016.
Move.
Second.
Whereas financial audits play a vital role in helping to preserve the integrity of public finance and provide independent assurance that financial information is reliable, transparent, and accountable in government, and which is essential to show that public functions are being carried out efficiently, ethically, and equitably. Whereas the town board requests that audit services proposal be obtained so that section could be made for the fiscal year 2014 through 2016 fiscal years for audit services. Whereas the town comptroller reviewed all proposals for knowledge of the statutes and regulations, ability to meet deadlines, competence, discretion, communication skills of personnel assigned to the audit, quality and quantity of resources used to perform the assigned audits, to include a CPA as the lead auditor. Now therefore be it resolved, the request for proposals from the Bonadio Group LLP met all specifications for accounting activity, computer fraud issues, and the use of CPAs during the audit process. Include the town clerk's office and the Justice Court Department for fiscal year 2014, 2015, and 2016 in the amount of $15,900 per year. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Discussion on this resolution. Seeing no discussion, I ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
5 ayes. Roadway dedication for 2014.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas pursuant to town law, section 279, subdivision 3, the following subdivision plat maps have been approved by the planning board and have been filed and recorded with the Monroe County Clerk's Office. The following highways have been constructed and are now open for public travel. Cloverland Development Company, Ashland Rise Subdivision, Section 1, Elena Circle, and a portion of Ashland Rise. Ashland Rise Subdivision, Section 2, portions of Ashland Rise and Links Court. 9 Mile Point Associates, Abington Place Subdivision, Section 3, portions of Colton Court, Maya Drive, and Silver Lace Way. And finally, Wyndham Woods Subdivision, Section 1, 2, and 4, Stone Hollow Drive and Kings Mill Court, Wyndham Woods Subdivision, Section 3, Willow Bridge Trail. Now therefore be it resolved, pursuant to Town Law, Section 279, Subdivision 4, the Penfield Town Board hereby accepts the highways for use as public highways.
Great, thank you. Discussion on this resolution. Each year, we need to accept the new roads that have been built so that we have the ability to plow those, and that's part of that resolution for this evening. Seeing no further discussion, ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign agreement with Teleview Virtual Television Networks for hosted video contribution and set-top box internet delivery service.
So moved.
Second.
In 2006, the town of Penfield entered into an agreement with Teleview Virtual Television Network for technologies and communication services to assist with the public education and government access television operations and electronic communication services. The Penfield Community Television provides communications and video media services to local government agencies, school districts, community groups, and the public through its cable and internet distribution services. The Penfield Community Television seeks to continue expanding the internet-based technologies for the improved media handling and processing efficiencies of submitted transmitted content. The Community Television Department has requested that expanded professional services from Teleview to assist with the development and implementation of alternative internet-based media delivery, utilizing modern IP set-top box streaming technologies, providing viewers with a greater access to live, pre-recorded content through Roku, and whereas Teleview Virtual Television Networks Connect services will be allowed for internet-based media submission with integration to Penfield Community Television's existing automated system, therefore providing greater staff efficiencies and cost savings to the department, and increasing timelines of content to cable TV and internet viewers. The Community Television Department has identified the use of Connect and Roku service to be compatible with the identified internet scheduled equipment replaced in future technologies. Whereas the cost for said service is budgeted within the Cable Television Department's 2014 budget and shall not exceed $6,000 to include design, setup, user accounts, network configuration, cloud storage, and staff training. Now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to sign an agreement acceptable to the town attorney with Teleview Virtual Television Network for its cloud-based Connect and Roku APP service.
Thank you. Discussion. Essentially, the thing that we're working on is as Penfield Television continues to grow and develop, one of the big media outlets obviously is the internet, and that's the piece that we want to stay focused on and moving forward with to help supplement all of our communication strategies that we put out to our residents, so that meetings like tonight, they can be viewed in a number of different ways. Channel 12, on your smartphones, certainly on the internet, and all of those different medias that folks have. And as we get away from some of the cable company activities and the use of some of these other devices, we want to make sure that we're still providing that information out to our residents. So, seeing no further questions or comments, I'd ask for a roll call vote on this resolution.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Okay, thank you. Is there any old business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none, is there any new business to come before the board this evening?
I think you mentioned the award we got from PBA. Maybe we should also congratulate. They had awards on Monday night, and the Penfield Pride Award went to Michael's Valley Grill for their, they updated their restaurant. And the Person of the Year went to Jeff Jennings, who is in charge of Jennings Funeral Home. And the Business of the Year was for Frontier Communications, the East Side branch, who does a lot of work in Penfield. So congratulations to all of those businesses.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Very good. Seeing no other new business, this brings us to our second public participation, where anyone can address the board on any subject. And I would ask at this time, is there anyone that would like to address the board on any matter? Okay, seeing none, what I'll say is, gentlemen, thank you for taking times out of your busy schedule to work on your citizenship in the community merit badge. Hopefully that's one step closer that all of you are to your Eagle Scout, and we look forward to being able to participate in your Court of Honor at some point down the road. Seeing no further business to come before this board this evening, the December 3rd, 2014 Town Board meeting stands adjourned. Thank you for everyone who participated. Thank you to Penfield Television. Have a great evening, great holidays, and Merry Christmas to those. As part of the Motts Lane expansion, which runs from 5 Mile Line Road, will wrap around the office building at DePietro's and then come out opposite Liberty Street, the taking down of the barn at the Humphrey House. That barn certainly was one that leaned in a lot of directions and a lot of concerns about the safety of that particular barn. The area will be filled in. A little bit of asphalt paving will be placed there. We look forward to getting the drainage and the retaining wall done this year. We did get some federal funding to help us with that as well, and that's part of some of the monies that we're spending on this particular area.
Whereas the town board proposes to purchase a portion of the property at 1777 Penfield Road, consisting of .012 acres for the purpose of creating additional right-of-way to extend Motts Lane. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign a purchase and sale contract for the purchase of the property at 1777 Penfield Road in the amount of $3,036.
I'd like to recognize Mr. Dwyer and Mr. Chapman for the Penfield Business Association. Really, it was their efforts working with Dr. DePietro to move this to the final phase. This is a piece that we needed in order to meet the requirements of the federal DOT in order to make this project work.
Okay, welcome to this beautiful November day in Penfield. The sun always shines in Penfield, and we're here today to open officially Motts Lane. This has been a long time coming, and a lot of people had a lot of involvement. So I'd like to certainly recognize our crews that did a lot of the work here to make this possible. I'd like to recognize the Penfield Business Association that helped us kind of put that last nail in to make it possible. And also want to thank the support of the town board and state of New York, and certainly would be remiss if I didn't mention federal government where some of the dollars came to help with this, and Louise Slaughter, who actually had a number of dollars come forth for this. So this is going to help our businesses, this will help our residents, it'll help a smoother flow on Route 441. And Jen Novi, who is the co-president of the Penfield Business Association, and I are going to do the honors. So with that, we'll do it on a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you.